Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to create this simple React.js portfolio website using framework motion, React navigation, Node SASS and more. So what we have this homepage where we have this sliding effect with the image, and we have a specialization section with those nice cards. If I go to the projects page, we have our projects listed, and if I click on a particular project, we are taken to the relevant GitHub repository, as you can see. And if I visit the contact page, we have this simple contact page with those cards with the email, location and phone. If you are new to the channel, my name is Yusman. I'm a self-taught web developer and I make tutorials about web development. So if that's something that interests you, make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you also hit the notification icon so that you don't miss any of my videos. So without further delay, let's open Visual Studio Code and start creating this portfolio website from scratch. Okay, so Visual Studio Code is opened. I have created a new folder and have opened this folder with Visual Studio Code. And now the first thing we will have to do, we'll have to create the project. So to do that, we will open a terminal and we will type one command, which is npx create-react app. So I will do that. So I'll say npx create react app, and for the name I will call this my-portfolio-website. I will hit enter and that will start installing the project and the dependencies. That will take a couple of minutes and I will get back to you when they are installed. Okay, so the installation has finished. We can see on the left side our project structure. We have a source folder, public folder, and all the files about the project are inside the source folder. So let me open a terminal right now and I will install a couple of dependencies which we will be using in this project. So first of all, I'll say ls and I will cd into that folder. And here I will install React icons as we'll be using them in this project. So I'll say npm install react-icons and I'll hit enter and that will install the React icons package for me. We will also install ReactRouter and ReactRouter DOM and Node SASS and framework motion, but we will do that once we have completed the installation for React icons. So let's wait a bit until React icons is installed. Alright, so React icons has been successfully installed. We can see the package right here. If I open my package.json file, we can see React icons right here, 4.2.0, that's the version. So let's install the rest. So I'll say npm install ReactRouter, ReactRouter DOM. I have a typo here, so ReactRouter DOM. I'll hit enter and that will install the ReactRouter package for me. So let's wait until this is installed as well. Okay, this is also installed. We can see it right here. It has been added. So next we will install npm. We will install node-sass. So let's install node SASS to be able to use SASS instead of CSS. And after that, the last thing we need to install is framework motion. So I'll say npm install framework-motion, hit enter, and after this last package is installed, I will get back to you to start coding the project. Framework motion is also installed, and now what I will do, I will start my development server. So here I will say clear first to clear the terminal, and I will say npm start. That will start my development server on localhost 3000. By default, it should be the same on your side as well. So while this is starting, let's explore the files. We have an App.js file, which is our entry file. we will convert this completely. Here we can see that we are getting something happening. Let's wait. Let's open Visual Studio Code, and we can actually start defining our project structure. So inside the source folder, I'll create a folder called assets. Okay, and inside this folder I will place the images which we'll be using in the project. You will also have the images. I will place them in the description below the video so that you can download them and use them as well, but you can put your own images if you wish. So let me quickly do this. So right now I have quit the development server by mistake. I will copy all those images from my desktop. So those, I'll copy them. I will open my project right here, and I will paste them right here, just like this. Now if I open Visual Studio Code, we should be able to see them inside the assets folder, and they are right here. Good. We will have also a folder inside the source folder called components. Okay, so I'll say components, and inside the components we will have basically the pages, so the contact, the home page, the projects page, and we will also make the navbar and the footer component as well. So we can do this, but first let's see what happened right here. So I can go to localhost 3000 and we can see the server has been started successfully. Okay, so now let's continue defining our project structure. So here in the components folder, let's create the first component, which will be the navbar. So I'll say navbar.js. Let's also create footer.js, home.js, projects.js, and also contact.js. Okay, once we have done this, we can close them, and we can convert the app.css into a CSS file by renaming it, which I will do in a moment. So here, rename. So instead of CSS, we have to add S here, and we'll be able to use SASS syntax. Okay, and basically from this file, what we will do, we will delete everything here to start with. We will save it. And something happened right here. Okay, app CSS. Okay, because we are importing app CSS right here, but it's no more .css, it's SCSS. So if I save now, we should not have the mistake, and we don't have it. We still have our development server running, although it's not styled as before, but that's okay. So here we will delete everything, and our index.css file, we will also delete this. We will delete this. All right, and inside the body we will just say box sizing, border box. We'll say padding 0 and margin 0. And for the font family, we'll be using Roboto. So let's quickly do this. So I will head to Google Fonts. So Google Fonts. And right here, I will choose Roboto. So I'll click on Roboto. And I will pick up regular 400, so I'll click on select this style, and you can see this menu right here, and all you need to do, you need to copy this right here. You need to copy it, go to your public folder, index file, and place it inside the head tag. So I will place it right here. I will hit prettier, and while I'm here I will change the title, so I will say ReactJS portfolio. Okay, I will save this file, and we also need to say font family for the styling right here. So I'll copy and paste this, save this file, and I will close it. We don't have any work anymore here. I'll close the index file. I will save also the app.js, and we should see that the title updated right here, and nothing has changed really inside the body of our app. So let's start by creating the navbar and the home page first. So to do that, let's head back to our app.js, and let's delete everything except the div with the class name of app. Okay, and basically what we will do now, we will import a couple of things from the ReactRouter DOM package. That will be the browser route, the router, the route and the switch components of that package. Okay, because we want to start developing our routes first before the components. So to do that, I will say import browser router as router. So this as is an alias. We will import route, and we will import switch as well, not that switch. So switch from ReactRouter DOM. Okay, and inside the div with the class name of app, right here we will have our router component. We will have the switch. Okay, and inside the switch we will define our routes. So I'm gonna say route, and the first route will be with the name of home. The path to that will be slash, because that's the home page. It will be exact matching of the path, no partial matching. And also it accepts a component prop, and that component will be the home page, the home component. So let's import them quickly. So import, let me delete this logo import right here. We don't need it. Okay. So import home from /components home. Let's also import the rest. So home, projects, so projects from /components projects, import contact from /components contact. We will import the navbar, so navbar from, again, components navbar, and import footer from /components footer. Okay, so those are the imports we have imported. And for the component of home route, we will say home. Let's copy that a couple of times. And for this one, we will say contact. And the last one will be projects. And here the path will be contact. And here the path will be projects. Okay. And for the component, similarly, the contact component and the projects component. All right, so this is the structure inside our app.js file. Let me just save this, and I will open the Navbar component right now and start creating the structure of the navbar. We have nothing right here. That's fine. Okay, element type is valid expression string. You've likely forgot the component export. Okay, so we have this mistake because we have nothing inside the components right here. So let's quickly do this. So let's start with the navbar. So here we can say import React from React. Okay, import React from React. And here we can say const navbar to be equal to an arrow function, and that will return some HTML. So the navbar will return a nav, and inside this nav we will have a div, and inside this div we will have a UL. So UL, and inside the UL we will have our list items. So first one will be home. All right. Second one will be projects. And the third one will be contact. And after that, we will say export default navbar. Okay. And I will save this file. And when I save it, if I go back to App.js, you will notice that we will still have this error because the rest of the components are not exported yet. So after the navbar, we can do similarly, we can copy this. We can go to the footer component. We can paste it. We can rename this to be footer. Okay, so this one will be footer. And inside the footer component, we will delete this and we will just have a footer inside which we will have a p tag, so paragraph, which will say portfolio 2021 ampersand copy, and we will save it like that, and we will leave it. Okay. Let's also do the homepage and the rest because we don't want this error to be. So right now I will be using a shortcut, which is because I'm using this extension called ReactJS snippets. So ReactJS snippets, okay? It's actually this one, ES7 React Redux React Native snippets. So I'm gonna say inside the home, I'll say RFCA, or I think it was this one. So it's RFC. So that extension gives me an arrow function. And I will say home, and you can see it has already done this for me. However, we'll leave it like this for the moment because we'll get back to that. Let's also do this for the rest. So here, projects, so rough, okay, and also the contact. And save and go back, and we don't have the error anymore because we are exporting something from the components, okay? So I mentioned that we will be doing the Navbar. So let's open the Navbar again, and here the Navbar component will have a class. So the Navbar will have a class name of Navbar, and this div will have a class name of Navbar links, and here we will import something from the ReactRouter DOM package again. So we will import the link component. So I'll say link, and you can see that it automatically provides me the path, so from ReactRouter DOM, and we will wrap the allies with that component because we want, whenever we click on the allies, we want to navigate to a page. So to do that, we'll have to wrap it inside this link component. So I'm going to say link just like this and paste it right like that. I will basically do the same. So link, copy the first one, paste it right here above, copy again, paste right here above, hit prettier, and now we should see, if we open the browser, we don't see anything yet because we haven't imported a navbar below right here. We will do that in a moment. The first link will lead to the home page, so it will be the slash. The second link, it will lead to projects, and the third will be leading to contact page. So I'll say to/contact. All right, let's prettify this. Let's go back to the App.js and let's place the navbar right here above the switch. So here above the switch, we will place the navbar. Why? Because we want the navbar to appear on every route. And similarly, we will place the footer right here. So footer, hit prettier, hit save, and you can see the navbar and the footer right here. All right. Now let's open app.css and let's start styling the navbar. So I will open the app.css, and remember, we have given this nav the class name of navbar, nav links for the div, and we have the ULs right here. So I'll start with the navbar. So I'll say dot navbar. And the cool thing about SASS is that you can nest styling. I mean, when you have a div inside the nav, instead of saying navbar, then navbar links and style, you can just place the styling for these navbar links inside the nav. And you will see what I mean right now. So for the navbar, I will say height to be 10 VH, width to be 100%, a background color of $333. Color actually will be white, so I'm going to say hexadecimal FFF. The display will be flex. We will align items to the center, and we will justify the content to the center. Now, if I save and open the browser, we see that we have the background color, the links are in the center, but they are situated in a vertical way. We want them in a horizontal way. So now to style the links, we can directly say, since we have navbar as a class name of the nav, which acts like a parent of that, holding that div, and we have also navbar-links. So the first name, the name here is equal to that, the first part. We can use a cool feature of SASS by saying &links, which automatically says style the div with the class name of links for me. So here we can just say, we can nest the UL, so we can say UL display flex list style none. And what else we have here? We have an anchor tag. So the anchor tag will be with the color of white, text decoration of none, we don't want any underline. We have a margin of 0 pixels top and bottom and 5 pixels left and right. Let's give them a little bit of padding. So I'll say padding 10 pixels. Font size of 20 pixels. And we will have a transition of the links when we hover over them. I will just say all 0.4 seconds ease, okay? And we can also say when we hover over them, so ampersand hover, the color to be F3 B5 42, which is orange. Okay, now if we save this and we import the styling file, so I'm going to say import just like this, so dot slash app.js, okay? If I save now, and if I open the project again, we see that they are styled, and when I hover over them, they have this nice transition with this orange color. Okay, similarly, we can go back now, and we can style the footer component. So let's do this right now. So I'm gonna open the footer, and I will give it a class name. So I'll say class name to be footer, okay? And while I'm here, I will also import the styling file. So I'll say import app.css. Save this, open app.css and say footer.footer. And the footer will basically have a height of 10 VH, again, the same background color, the Navbar, 333, color of white, display flex, align items center, justify content center. Okay, and if I save now, we should be able to see the changes right here, and we see them, but they are attached to each one because we don't have content inside the homepage. Okay, but if we visit contact, we see that our route changes. If we click on the links, we also see that our routes are changing because the routing is working. Okay, now after we have styled the navbar and the footer, let's start working on the home page. So on the home page, we can open the home page right here, and here we'll have more stuff to import and more stuff to work on. Okay, here basically we will have one div with the class name of home. So I'll say class name home. We will have another div with the class name of home intro, which will hold the image and text we have. Remember, we have an image, sliding image, and we also have a text which is saying, hey, my name is Usman, I'm a ReactJS developer and UX designer. Okay, so let's do that right now. We will have also a div. I will give it a class name. So class name will be home-intro. Okay, and inside this div we will have another div which will be with the class name of home-intro heading. Okay, and this div will store the text. So here we'll have h1, which says, hi, I am Usman. We will have another h1, which will say UX designer and react.js developer. Okay, with an exclamation. We will also have a button right here. So button, okay, button, which will say view my work. Okay, view my work. Okay, let's hit prettier, and below this div, so basically this one, we'll have another div. So we will have div which will have the class name of home intro image, and here we will place our image, which will be image source. We will import that in a moment. The alt will be hash, so I'm gonna say hash for the alt, and I'll give a class name as well. So class name will be my image. Okay, And I will import the image. So to import the image, we will just say first of all, we'll import React from React and import image from dot slash actually dot slash. So dot slash, not this directory. One more. Assets, and here we can see the image, which is me.png, and here we'll provide image just like this. Now if I save, we can see that we have the headings right here. We also have the image, which is great. So let's continue working on the core structure of the homepage, and then we will add the motion and the stuff from Framework Motion. Okay. After that, after this section with the image and the sliding text, we will have the specialization section. So right here, we can say another div, so div, and this div will have a class name of home/specialization, just like this. And inside this div, we will have an h2, so I'll say h2 with uppercase I specialize in. And remember, we had that bottom line, the orange bottom line below the heading. So to achieve this, we will have another div, which we will style. So I'll say div, and that will be an empty div, but we will give it a class name. So I'll say class name of bottom line, and you'll see what I mean by this when I start styling it. After this div, we will have a paragraph. So I'll say p tag, and here we can say photography as well as creating digital master pieces and UI UX layouts for websites and mobile applications. Okay. Let me just save this and let me open the project. So we have this section right here. Great. What else? So after this section, we have the cards. Remember the cards which we hover over and they get the nice pop-up effect. So to achieve this as well, below this div, below this one, we will have another div. So I'm going to say div, and that div will have a class name of home specialization grid. And right here inside this, we will have one div. We will have an h3, so h3 And the first one will be photography. And we will have a paragraph below this, which will say, I create high quality images with my professional photography equipment and edit them with Adobe Photoshop. Photography is my best skill. You can put whatever you would like here. I just placed some random text, but you can put really whatever you would like. After that, we will have the same thing happening. So basically, I can just copy this div a couple of times more. So here, here, and here. Okay, then we have photography, then we have video editing. So here, the second one is video editing. So video editing, and we can delete this and we can type something we want here. So I can say, in my spare time, I also edit videos that I use Adobe Premiere Pro, and the results are always fantastic. Video editing is one of my biggest passions to work on. Okay, I think that's enough for this paragraph. For this one, we have logo design, I believe. So let's say logo design, and for the paragraph text, we can say, I create high quality logos for different brands and businesses that I start from scratch. Providing the clients a lot of options. I use Adobe Photoshop as a tool, and clients are always happy. Wow, what a long text. So let's save, let's make this prettier, and for the last one, we can say UI UX. Okay, so here, instead of photography, UI UX. And for the last paragraph, we can just say as UX UI is my passion. I aim creating user-friendly masterpiece layouts, so layouts for websites and mobile applications and my clients absolutely love them. Okay, we are done with the structure of the homepage. If I save now, we should be able to see all that stuff, but we don't have the icons. So let's quickly open React icons. And as we have installed, so here on the homepage, you can see how you can install them. We already have done this. And here you have a couple of usage examples of how to use React icons. So the icons we will be using in this project are the following. So we have an icon, which will be the camera. So I'll type BS fill camera video. So if you click on it, it will copy it to your clipboard, and all you need to do to use it, really, you have to import it inside your file. So here in the App.js, you can say import inside curly brackets the name of this from React icons /bs. That's the module of that icon. So you have to import it just like this. It will not accept any other thing. It has to be BS. So after that, we will also have the BSI icon. So BSI fill, this one. As it's from the same module, I can just paste it right here. I don't have to do another import. So I'll place it right here. We also need the other icon, which is the camera. So BS camera for the photography card. Okay, and I think it's this one. And again, I will just copy and paste it right here. And we also need the laptop. So I'm going to say BS lap. Yeah, we have it right here. And paste it again. Hit prettier. And now, as we have imported the icons, the way we use the icons is very simple. We go down to our code, and I will place them right here. So the first icon I will place will be, so where is that section? Home specialization. Okay, home specialization grid. So the first icon will be placed above the photography H3. And I will say BS camera. And for the size of this, we'll say 40. Okay. And it's a component, so it's going to be a self-closing component, just like this. And now if I save it, you will be able to see the icon. Okay, so if I close this, the icon should be right here, and it is right here. So let's do the same for the rest. So we have the camera right here for the video editing. We can say BS fill camera video size to be 40 again. Self-closing tag. Hit prettier. For the logo design, I think we had the eye. No, it's the laptop actually. Okay, so it's the laptop. So I'm gonna say BS laptop size to be 40. And for this one, we'll have the eye. So BS eye fill size 40. just like this. Okay. Okay, so we see the icons right here. We have everything. Let's start styling this page. And after we style it, we will add the frame of motion, basically the motions, the transition effect with this moving on the left side, on the right side, and these hovering effects over the cards. So to start styling this, we will go back to our app.scss file. So inside the app.scss, we will have, so we have this div with the class name of home. So I'm gonna say home. All right, and for the home, it will have a width of 100%. I will give it a min height. So min height will be 80 VH. Okay. And once I do this, you will notice that everything was pushed, right? Like the footer was pushed to the bottom because we have given that 80 VH height. Okay. Here we will style the div with the class name of intro, basically this one, which is holding the heading, the button, and the image. Actually, it's holding the divs, the div which is holding the heading, the button, and the div which is holding the image. So it's the parent div of that, the parent div of those divs. I'm sorry. So we'll say and intro, and the intro div will have a display of flex, align item center, flex direction will be row, justify content space evenly, and I will give it a margin of 50 pixels top and bottom and 0 pixels left and right. Okay, if I save, we can see that those divs, they moved and they are positioned with space evenly because we are using flex. Okay, so inside this we also have inside the home intro we have home intro heading. So here I can just say and heading, and inside the heading we have a paragraph. So we want the paragraph to be with a font size of 30 pixels and font weight to be bold. Okay, let's see what happened now. So the paragraph has 30 pixels and the font weight is bold. Okay. We also have the button. So the button, we can say button background of that button will have a very strange color of 6D, which is 6D 76 7A 7E, which is kind of dark gray, I would say. Color will be white. I'll say padding of 10 pixels. Border radius of 5 pixels. Border of none, 0. I don't want any outline, so I'll say outline 0. Transition 0.2 seconds ease. We want the cursor to be pointer when we hover over it, and the font weight to be bold. And when we hover over the button, so I'll say hover and hover, we want the color to be orange. So that basically the orange color, which is this one, F3 B542. Okay, let's save and see what happened. What has changed? So we see the button, and whenever we hover over it, we see that it's getting this transition, okay? But nothing happens when I click on it. So to fix this, we will do that in a moment. Okay, so we have styled this part right here, the sliding area with those image and the heading. Let's work on I specialize in section, okay? So inside this home, we also remember that we have also home specialization. So I can just copy this and right here before the end of this, I can also say and specialization, and this specialization will have a display of flags. Justify content will be center. I want the flex direction to be column. Align items will be center. And if I save this, they should move to the center. Oh, I opened Safari by mistake, my mistake. So let me quit this. Open Chrome, and we can see that they move to the center. But we don't have the bottom line because we haven't styled it yet. So to style it, we can just say dot bottom line. And again, I placed that inside this because the div is situated inside this div with the class name of home specialization. So it's right here inside this div. So this div is inside this div, and that's why I'm styling it like this. I'm nesting it inside the parent styling. So here I can say width 20%. A background of the orange color we have used, so this one, and I will give it a height so that we can see it. So I think 2 pixels would be all right. So when I save, we should be able to see the bottom line, but we don't see it. Why? Because I forgot to say bottom line. Now, if I save, we should be able to see it, and we see it just like this. All right, we are getting some progress. So let's also style those cards right here. So now, in order to style the cards, we have another div with the class name of home specialization and grid. So since we have grid and those two are exactly the same, but we have grid right here, inside this thing right here, inside the specialization, we can say and grid, and we can say display grid. So grid template columns will be repeat for 1 FR, which is 1 fraction, okay? We will have a grid gap of 16 pixels between the cards. We will also have a padding of 5 pixels, and we will have margin of 20 pixels top and bottom and 0 pixels left and right. But we also have divs, separate divs inside that and grid. So I mean, we have those divs right here, the inner divs inside this div. So we can directly style them inside this. And I can say div, so each div will be display of flex. It will be with align items center, flex direction of column, text align of center. And if I save now, we see them that they have moved just like this. They are in a row. Each one of them is taking one fraction of the whole thing. So we have given them repeat of for 1FR for the grid layout. Okay. Everything looks okay to me, but that image is too big. So what we can do, we can style it. So did I give it a class? I think I gave it a class. It's my image, and my image is located inside home intro image. So we have n heading. We also have let me see where this ends. So we have and heading and intro. So we have an intro and heading. So it has to be after the heading. And heading is ending right here. So we can say and image. We can say image. And this image can have 300 pixels width. Hit save. And now the image is slightly smaller as we want it. Okay. We have set up the home page, and now we have to work on the transitions and the motion effect. So to do that, let's head to framermotion.com. So framermotion. Okay, framer.com. So it's this one right here. Here you can see how you can install it. If you go on getting started section, there are a lot of animations right here. I recommend you checking this out. It's a great library, allows you to do crazy stuff with animations. So I'm gonna go over the examples, and the thing we'll be using inside our project, basically for the sliding effect, we will be using the animate. So animation, I'll click on animate, and here we can see that. Okay, we can see how we can use it. We have to import motion from framermotion, and we basically have a motion.div, animate, some props. So I'm gonna copy this one right here, the keyframes. Let me check which one was this. Let me go to the examples. So examples right here. You can see how many things we have right here. Okay. Let's do that first on the cards. So when we hover over them, we want them to pop out like that. So we can use actually this one right here. When you see what happens when I hover over it. So to do this, we just have to wrap our diffs with this motion.button component. And we can, first of all, we can import this. So I'm going to say import, I'm going to copy it inside the home, and I'll paste it right here. And as you saw in the example, what we can do, we can wrap the div with that motion dot button. Okay, so you can wrap it like this, and you can give it a prop. So we can say while hover, and that takes an object, and you can say scale 1.1. Okay, now if I save this, let's wait. Okay, now if I go back and hover over this, you can see that it's getting this nice effect. You can also notice that we have this border and that color, which was given by this framework motion component, the button. I didn't add this styling, it came because we are using that button. So keep that in mind. So now we have to do the same for the rest. So I'm gonna copy this, okay? And I'm gonna paste this. Paste this like this, okay? Save, and we should have two of them now working like this. Yeah, they are like that, okay? And okay, where was this? Okay, so here, copy, paste. Okay, and we also have one more, I think. Okay, so it's not this one, I think it's this one. Yeah, so copy, paste, hit prettier, prettify it, go back, and we see that all of them now have this effect. Great, but we don't have the sliding effect of this section. So to achieve that, what we need to do, we will need to use another framework motion component, and this time we can try to search for it right here. So let me just tap on transition right here. So we can use any one of those, but the one I'm going to use is basically this one. So I will, inside the home.js, the div, which is home intro heading, I will wrap it with this motion.div component. Okay, so this whole div will be wrapped with this motion div component. Just like this, and I'm gonna give it a couple of props. So I'll say animate, and that will be an object with x100, and transition of object ease, that will be ease out, and the duration of this, so duration will be 1. Now if we save this and go back, we see that it's transitioning from when we open the page. This is what we want. And we have to do the same for the image. So we can copy this and wrap this image div with this component from Framework Motion. And we can say, okay, motion.div, okay, just like this. But here we can play with the X. So for example, I will say -50 because I want it to come from right to left. And I'll prettify, I'll save. And you can see now that they are one of them is sliding from the left to the right and the other one from right to the left. And this is the behavior we want. So you can basically play with that however you would like. I have chosen this way and I will leave it like this. Okay, the homepage is pretty much ready. We just have to make this button work. So in order for this to work, we will have to import the link component. So I'm going to say import link from ReactRouter DOM, and I'm going to wrap this button with the link component. So where is the button? Okay, so here we'll say link and wrap the button, and this link will lead to /projects. So projects, just like this. Hit save, and now if we hit the button, we are navigated to the projects page, but we don't have anything yet there. We will start doing that right now. Okay, so the home page is done. Let's start working on the projects page. Okay, so I'm going to close the home page. I'm going to close the navbar in the footer. I'm going to leave this and I'm going to open my projects page. Okay, and inside the projects, what I will do, I will simply I will create, first of all, my data, the data which we'll be using, like the cards, like the project, the grid we have. And first of all, I will do the following. So I will say const projects data, that will be an array of objects. Okay, first one of them will be with an ID of 1, and we are giving this ID because whenever we make a loop inside the code, we will need to specify a key. So in order to do that, we need to give this an ID. You'll see what I mean. Then I can say name, and that one will be to-do list app. We have to provide the image. So image, and we have to import it. So let's also do that. So I'm going to say import, first of all, React from React. So import React from React. Okay. We will be using Framework Motion, so let's also import Motion from Framework Motion. And we can say import to-do list image from assets to-do list png. Let's do the same for the rest. So import car registration image, so car reg image from /assets car registration.png. import meals app image from / assets meals app.png and import calories tracker image from the same assets calories tracker. Oops. Okay. And here for the image, you can specify this. You can say to-do list image. And here we'll have link. So link, whenever you click on it, it has to lead to a GitHub repository. So for the link, we will navigate to my GitHub account. So I'll say GitHub. So GitHub. And we can see my repositories right here, but we need, okay, so we can open the calories tracker. For the car registration, I haven't uploaded it yet, but I will do that. ReactJS to-do list app and ReactJS meals app, okay? So this one is the calories tracker. So I'm going to copy this link. And for the moment, I will paste it right here so I can have reference of it. Copy also this one. Paste. Copy this one. Paste. And the final one, I'm gonna paste it right here. Okay. So for the link, for the to-do list app, we can grab this link and we can paste it right here. Okay. Then what we can do, we can create a couple of more objects right here. So I can copy right here this object and change the ID, and this one to be car registration app, and for the image we'll say car reg image, and the link will be this. So I'm gonna paste it right here. Copy this object once again. Paste it right here. Paste it one more time. This one will be ID of 4, and this one will be with the ID of 3. And this one will be calories tracker app. Okay, so calories tracker app. I'm gonna grab the calories tracker link. And I'm gonna paste it right here. And the image will be calories tracker image. So car reg image, meals app. Okay, so the meals app, I forgot this. Okay, so meals app, and we can paste it right here like this. Okay, so we have the data right now, which we can loop through and output our projects in the format of grid. So what I mean, meals app image is not used. Okay, meals app image. Oh, okay, so meals app image. Okay, so now we are good to go. Okay, we have the data right now, and what I mean by looping through this data is the following. Here in the return section of this component, we will have a div. This div will have a class name of projects. And inside this div, we'll have another div, which will have an h2 of my work, ... We'll have a div which will be the same as the bottom line we did. So I will give it a class name of bottom line. And this div will have class name of projects heading. Okay. This one will have another one which will hold our project images. So I'm gonna give this div a class name of projects grid, and inside this div, I will make a loop. So I will loop through the data. So I'll say projects data dot map, and we will have an item, and for each item we will output motion dot div. We'll say inside this motion dot div we'll have an image that should be a self-closing image tag. So image, and that will be with the source of item.image, okay? And alt will be hash. And for the motion div props, I will say while hover object scale 1.1. I have to give it a key because it will give me an error. So key item.id, the ID we have given above. And we will also have a method called handleClick, which will open the link whenever we click on an image. So I can say on click, and that will be equal to an anonymous function which will trigger that handleClick, which I will create in a moment, and we'll pass item.link right here, okay? And let's create that handleClick function. So here I can say const handleClick, that will be URL, we will accept the URL, and we will do, basically we will say window dot open that URL, okay? Now if we save, we go to the projects section, and we see whenever I click on a project, I'm taken to the relevant GitHub repository. So I can click, I'm taken to this one. This is what we want. Let's start styling the page. So here we will have to import the styling file. So I'm saying import what was it? App.scss. Okay. Hit save, go to app.css, and here we can start styling the projects section. So we can say okay, home is ending right here. So I can say projects, and the projects will be with the width of 100%, a min height of 80 VH, a display of flex direction of column, align items will be center, justify content will be center. Now if we save, let's see what happened. We're there in the center, but the images are too big and we cannot see pretty much anything. Okay, so let's continue styling this. So project, inside the project we have project's heading, so I'm going to say heading and dash heading. So I'm going to say text align center again. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it right here. And I'm going to give it also a margin. So I'm going to say margin 30 pixels 0. Remember we have the bottom line as well. So I'm going to say bottom line and we can just say width 100% as the previous one we did. Background, that orange color, and a height of 2 pixels. Okay. After that, we also have and grid. We can say display. We can say display flex for this. So I'm going to say display flex wrap to be wrap. We want the images to wrap when we resize the window. Justify content center, align items center, and I want to give this a margin of 50 pixels top and bottom and 0 pixels left and right. We also have the images, so each image will be with the width of 500 pixels, and we will say align self to the center. Great, let me just save and see what happened. Now we can see that the images are in a grid format, and when we hover over them we have this nice effect, and when I click on a project we are taken to the relevant GitHub repository. Okay, so I'm going to close those tabs and I will start working on the contact page, our last page, which is pretty simple and it's going to be pretty fast, I believe. So I'm going to close this and I'm going to open the contact page. Okay, and inside the contact page we will do the following. Basically, we will have a div which will be with the class name. So div with the class name of contact, and we will also have a div with the class name of contact heading, and inside this div we will have h2 contact with me ... and we will also have a div which will be the bottom line. So I'm going to say class name bottom line. Okay, after that, below this div we will have another div with the class name of contact grid, and we will have pretty much the same as we did in the home page. So we'll have another div h3. Actually, we can directly import the icons. So here we can say import gr mail, so gr mail, gr phone, gr location from React icons gr. So here we can just say gr location size to be 40, and I can say h3, oops, so h3 location, and I'll put my location, so I'll say P Eindhoven, the Netherlands. Okay, I'm gonna copy this div a couple of times, two times more. So here I can say phone for the last one. So phone, I'm gonna put a random phone here, phone number. So I'm gonna say plus 111 plus 001 355 768, for example. I don't know. You can put whatever you would like here. That will be gr phone. This one will be email. So the email will be kadirmedia@gmail.com, and we can say gr, what was it, gr mail. Okay, gr mail. Okay, hit save, go back to the contact page, and we see them like that. Let's style them, and that will be what we do before we start doing the responsiveness. Okay, so to style the contact page, what we need to do, we need to inside our app.js, we can say dot contact, and the width of the contact will be 100%. I want a min height, so min height of 80 VH, and we also have heading here, so and heading, text align center, display to be flex direction column, align item center. I want to give this a margin, so margin of 30 pixels top and bottom, and 0 pixels left and right. We have the bottom line again, so bottom line, okay, bottom line, background, the orange one, orange color, height 2 pixels, and width 20%. Okay, let me save and see what happened now. We have this bottom line. Let's also style this div, which holds the 3 divs with those icons. I'm gonna say and contact and heading. I'm gonna say and grid. So I'm gonna say display grid. Grid template columns will be repeat 3 1fr. Justify, so I'm gonna say justify items center, margin of 50 pixels top and bottom, and 0 pixels left and right. Then we also have individual div inside this grid, so I'm going to say div display flex. We can copy this. I'm using a lot of flexbox basically. We can also say background color to be EF. We want each box to have a width of 85% of the parent's width, and border of 1 pixel solid 76, 76, 76, 76, just like this. Okay, hit save, go back to the contact page, and we have the contact page styled. Isn't that looking great? It's super simple, and at the same time it's looking fantastic. So we have this nice portfolio website done with ReactJS using framework motion, SASS, and React icons. Now what is left? Basically we need to make it responsive. So pretty much this page is kind of responsive. This one is not, however. I see that we need to work on this in order to make it responsive. Let me see the contact page. We also have to style the contact page to make it responsive. So let's work on this right now. So in order to make this happen, we need to use media queries. And the way we use media queries is basically very simple. At the bottom of our styling file, we can say add media. And I'm going to start with the mobile, the smaller screens first. And here we'll say max width. So max width of 500 pixels. So basically anything under 500 pixels will have those stylings. So for the home and for the intro, heading, I will have margin right of 150 pixels. I want the H1 to be with the font size of 24 pixels. I want the paragraph to be with the font size. So heading, with the font size of 16 pixels. And I want the text align to be center. So I'm going to say text align center. Okay. And also inside the home, I want the image, basically the image we have used. So I'm going to say my image to be with the width of 200 pixels. Now if I save this, one and go back, go to the home page, make this smaller, we see that we have this the text is getting smaller. Okay, let me open the inspector. So I'm going to say inspect. And oh my god, I hate this. I hate this on MacBook is so weird sometimes. I don't know why this is happening. So I'm going to inspect this. Okay, so now it's much better. Okay, is it happening? I think it's happening. Let me test this out. Width. Okay, let me close the contact, open the home page again. My-image. Home intro image. Oh, an image. Okay. Oh. Okay, so here we can say and image. Just like this. Wrap it like this. Save now, and we should see that the image is slightly getting smaller, but it's not, which is very, very strange. Let me see why. So home intro image, home intro heading. Oh, I see why. So we should place this right here and save now and see what happened. Okay. Make this smaller. Okay, let's see what's happening right here. We have this, an intro, and heading, an image. Let me see. An image. Okay, let's see, let's test this out. So let's say display none for this one. And let's see what happens. It should disappear. It's not disappearing, which means that our classes are not working properly. So how to fix this? At media max width. Okay. Home and intro and heading. Okay, let's delete this like that. And let's place my image inside the home. So basically inside this. Just like this. Not working again. Why? Why this is not working? Okay, I'm gonna come back to this later on. I'm gonna fix this. But I want to work on this section, the other one, the specialization section. So here, so home, so here I'll say, and specialization, and this one will have paragraph, and the paragraph will be with the font size of 18 pixels, okay, 18 pixels. And I want the text align to be center. Okay, let's save now and see what happened. Okay, we see that the font changed. Yeah, so the font changed. We also have the grid. So I'm gonna say grid and grid. Okay. And here we'll have grid template columns 1FR, grid gap of 16 pixels, padding of 5 pixels, justify items center, and text align center, just like this. Okay, hit save. Okay, basically it's not working. And I'm gonna find out why. Just give me a moment. In specialization, Okay, this is very weird. Okay, let me home. So at media, home, intro. Okay, the intro is ending here. Okay, specialization. And grid. This is so strange. Media, max width. Okay, everything seems okay. I don't know why it's not working. Specialization. Okay guys, so I have figured out why this happened, because I had a typo right here. So instead of max width, I was max width. I don't know what I have typed, but I had a mistake. So I apologize for this. So now, after I have saved the changes, I have even tried to style the contact page. So for the contact, we just specify the grid, and we say grid template columns 1fr and grid wrap 16 pixels. And if I now resize the windows, we can see the contact page, how it looks on small devices. If we go to the home page, we don't see the image because we have set display none. So we can pretty much, we can go back to our code right here. And for the image, instead of saying display none, we can say width. So my image width of 200 pixels. And if we save now, we should be able to see that the image is slightly smaller. Yeah, it is. So I resize, it gets smaller, right? Like that. And we see that they are stacking, these cars right here are stacking one below each other. And this is the behavior we want, okay? So this screen looks good to me. The contact page looks good to me on small devices. Let's style also the projects page. So the projects is gonna be very simple. So I'm gonna say right here, before the ending of this media query, so I'm gonna say projects. So projects, and the projects will be, so I'm gonna style a heading. So the div with the style of projects heading, I'm gonna say and heading. So bottom line, I want the bottom line to be with the width of 50% on smaller devices. And we'll say and grid, so the grid to be the image, actually the images to be with the width of 350 pixels, okay? And now if we save that, we see that they are slightly smaller than before for smaller screens, okay? So this screen looks good on small devices. The home page looks good, and also the contact page looks good. But let's make sure they're also looking great on medium devices. Because as you notice, the bigger screens is looking already great. So we don't need to style for, let's say, width more than 768 pixels. We will leave it like this, but between 500 and 768, we need to do some styling. So I'm gonna do this right now. And here I will specify another media query, and I will say at media min width, so above 500 pixels, so min width 500 pixels, and max width of 768 pixels. So whenever we have these breakpoints, I want to style the home, and I want to style the specialization. So specialization. And I want to style the grid. So I want the grid template columns to be repeat to 1fr. And now if I'm on the home page and I make the screen that breakpoint, again I have a typo somewhere, so let me check where is the typo. Width, oh, okay, so now they should be 2 on the row. Yeah, they are. So between that we have this, and as it's getting smaller we have this. Okay, let me inspect. Okay, as I go smaller they become stacking below each other. Okay, so this is what we have created today, guys. A very nice, simple ReactJS portfolio website. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy the video, please make sure you give me a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe for more amazing videos just like this one, which will help you to boost up your ReactJS skills and get your dream job fast as I did. So thank you so much for watching.